Good evening, everybody, and welcome to part 17, and which will probably be the final part of the first Ace Attorney game of the trilogy. We got that prediction wrong because there were quite a few to be continues, and I was also very, very sleepy. And to be fair, I think my circadian rhythm is playing up with me, because at around about 9:30, which is the streaming time, I do start to get a little bit tired. So I want to start off this stream by reading a tweet that I've just seen from an account called Football Talk. Now, this might not be of interest to you, but I love my football, soccer for the Americans, and I am a Man United fan. And this was a quote from Patrice Evra, who used to be a left back at United. It reads, "One day we were tired after a Manchester United game, so we decided not to sign autographs and get on the bus directly. Then suddenly we saw Ferguson, that was our manager at the time, signing autographs to the fans for 45 minutes. He then got on the bus and yelled at us, 'Who do you think you are? These people pay your salary. These people are coming to see you. Now go f***ing sign them.' We had to sign an autograph to all the fans. And that, my friends, is why Sir Alex Ferguson was the GOAT. Football talk? Nope, it isn't of interest, Uncle TCG. Well, I'm sorry, Mr. GB. But we all have diverse opinions and ranges and all that jazz, and that just happens to be one of mine. So, yes, part 17 of Ace Attorney, the first game of the trilogy. I don't know if this is going to be a long stream, depending on how long this part goes on for. We may actually get into the second game. Alright. But again, that all depends on that. As a sponsor of your channel, I assume this means you'll now allow us to meet up there. You're not a sponsor on this channel. You're not a sponsor on this channel. But, yeah. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Also, I tweaked the mic settings a little bit today on the PC. I hope that it's all coming through all right. I did do a little bit of a test recording beforehand. It seemed all right, but it's always different on live. Not my fault. This isn't monetized. Blame Raha Mohan. No, you're very true. It is not your fault. But if you have appreciated the series so far, you can tip me via the pinned comment at the top if you like. It's an obligation, but it is massively appreciated. Fantastic, Mogu. Thank you very much. Confirming that it sounds good. If you're also new here and you're seeing this for the first time, there is a whole playlist that you can go and check from the previous 16 parts, as well as other gameplay that I've put out. Please also do give this stream a like. And as I say, for those newbies who may be here for the first time on a replay, give us a subscribe. Go on, subscribe to the channel. I'd really like to get this one to 200 if I can. That would be great. We're 134 strong. So, let's go and say hello to the people that are here. Mergu, not Moriarty. Same Mr. Gently Benevolent. Mima's here as well. Good evening, everybody. So, yeah, good evening. What we'll do, we won't hang about, because I kind of left you guys in the lurch in the last stream. Let's get into it. It's crunch time now. It's February 25, 2:21 PM, District Court, courtroom number 9. Now then, will the defendant, Miss Lana Skye, please take the stand? Miss Lana Skye, you are the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you.
But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years.
Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Skye. For clarification's sake, Lana would. I'll tell you what, we're going to make Mr. Gently Benevolent a blimmin' weeb by the time we're finished with this. And remember, you are under oath. We want to hear the truth.
Of course, the truth. Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister.
Yeah, that kind of would be the case. Now then, your testimony, if you will. No simping. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Gant. Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get Gant. Gantz and the Fabrication.
I worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago, all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene to make it look like they were making love. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma.
For further clarification, TCG possible would. Wait, get in. Lana, actually, Emma, you're an alien. Are you sure about this testimony?
Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offence. Of course I'm sure. But Lana!
If this is true, then that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this.
That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. Please, Mr. Wright, you've got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me.
But what if she's telling the truth?
She's not. I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony.
That would happen when you hide something deep inside you, Emma. Moving on. Yeah, this is no time to start second-guessing myself. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Gant and the Fabrication. Has Emma explained why she's wearing a soy jack emoji yet? Not yet, no.
I worked alongside Gant for years.
How many years exactly? Yeah, big time phrasing, I know, right?
Ever since I made senior detective. Let's see. I was 24 then, so that would be 5 years.
Detective Gant and Detective Sky were legendary partners. I personally saw them testify in numerous cases. She must have been good coming from the same school as Mia. Blimey. Phrasing!
Damon Gant was a respectable detective. That's why there's no truth to his blackmail theory.
But think about it, Miss Sky. You didn't murder Detective Goodman. You told me as much yesterday in jail.
You still don't get it, do you, Mr. Wright? Any testimony you cannot present in court is as useless as idle gossip. I stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. And I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself.
Did you do so to help your sister?
Joe Dark was a serial killer. My sister almost became his last victim that day. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life.
But what she did was justifiable self-defense. She wouldn't have been charged with anything.
That's not the point. She was traumatized that day, all because of that creep. That's why I couldn't forgive him. Lana.
So that's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago.
When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene.
You say you did this all by yourself?
Yes.
Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene?
It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor award knife was stuck in the victim's body.
Yeah, being dead would indeed ruin her life. Yeah, it would. What?
But Prosecutor Marshall... I can't say Prosecutor Marshall, but Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident. That's only a situation you dreamed was possible.
The plot of this turnabout is very large and I don't know it all just yet. Yeah, it takes a...
The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change this statement.
You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark?
Something like that.
If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying a switchblade knife.
Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle.
That's not how it went down.
Man, she's trying to cover up her lies with more lies. All just to protect me.
So when you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to.
Yes. I broke off the tip of Dark's knife, planted it inside the wound, then moved the body.
You planted the tip of Dark's knife in the victim's wound, and then you moved the body? But why? Why would you do that?
Oh, you of all people should know, Edgeworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders.
My head isn't that bad, but maybe I ought to ask for the sake of the others. Oh, what should we do, chat? Should we ask her why she planted the knife or why she moved the body? Actually, why would she move the body? Knife first, yeah? The best, that is the best place to head your head under the arm. Gets annoying to carry. Alright, let's ask about the knife. But why did you do that? Message retracted, Mr. GB. Is walking his previous statement back.
Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Even you should be able to figure that out.
Ah. Very well. Let's add this to the witness's testimony. The reason Miss Skye fabricated the knife.
I knew the tip of the weapon found buried in his body would be all the proof we needed.
Well, according to your testimony, Prosecutor Marshall's broken knife was the murder weapon, right?
Yes, and leaving it at that might point the blame away from Dark. That sentence is a bit of a word salad. Yes, and leaving it at that. Oh, yes, and leaving it at that might point the blame away from Dark.
Ah.
I felt the most effective way to get him convicted would be by having the tip of his knife found inside the victim's body.
So you buried it inside the victim's stab wound?
Yes. Because I hated Dark for what he did. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma.
I feel like we should go back and ask the other question, see how that one worked. So you rearranged the crime scene. Are you sure you didn't do this to keep Emma from looking like the murderer?
How many times do I have to tell you, Mr. Wright? Emma didn't do it. Period. Are you so desperate to hide that fact, you're willing to risk the death sentence? She's lying. She did it so I wouldn't be blamed for what happened. In any case, as a prosecutor, what I've done is unpardonable. There's nothing I can do to make up for my actions. Mr. Wright, my sister's lying.
Looks like she's determined to protect you to the end. TCG, are you hip with the kids? No. And I'm proud to admit that. Because you see, swag and YOLO. She insists she fabricated the evidence by herself.
There's no way she could have done it alone. I've got to get Lana to talk more.
If she's lying, then she's bound to slip up and make a contradiction. I want to go back to... this one? There's got to be something in there that... Right, okay, well, let's press for now. And then we'll see if... hold on, it might be the wrong statement. Yeah, wrong statement, okay. Okay. Okay, yep. 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 Whee! Donk. I wonder if it's got something to do with the autopsy report. Oh, can I not, Okay, why did you move the body? Let's go with that. When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body? Ah!
It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Gant's desk.
But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there?
The reason for that is simple.
Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Skye moved the body...
The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan. Ah! Pieces of the jar? You mean... Yes, that wretched jar you showed us earlier. In order to show that Dark committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedient to move the body. So, when you first found the body, the jar was already... Of course, it had been shattered to pieces. If you looked at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what happened. Donk. Neil Marshall was dead, and Dark was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken during their struggle. I see. What's the matter, Emma? Apparently the jar shattered at the time the crime was committed. No, it didn't. No, 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 no. No, 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 it didn't. No, no, it didn't. Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. Right, hold on a minute. That couldn't have been the case. Because... Where's the picture? Because look... That's got to be the contradiction, surely. Hey, Burnsy, good evening. Right, we're going to save it. Ah, okay. Although, let's have a look at the... Was there a floor plan? I don't think there was a floor plan for that one, was there? What's this? Like, what does that play into? Genuinely a bit stumped. Like, nah, okay. Okay. The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan. It was the jar. Yeah, it was the jar. Yeah. Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. Oh, by the way, GB, I looked for those. Where did you send me those links for that game and that the other day? Because I couldn't find it afterwards. Would you mind either? Because I think you follow me on Twitter, and I think I follow you too. Either DM me or on Twitter or DM me on Discord. I was on Steam. Yeah, I couldn't find my bloody messages today. Sorry. Yeah, would you mind just sending those links to me on either Twitter or Discord? Either one's fine. Yeah, because I was going to go and have a look for them today. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister. Oh, you sent it to my Steam chat. Okay. Be a darling though, would ya? Please. Copy paste. Go on. Be nice. Too lazy. You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered? I'll send it on Discord when I go to my actual machine, not the work machine. Oh, okay, fair enough. No worries. Actually, to be fair, I'll probably have a look afterwards. I couldn't get the Steam chat on my phone earlier. I need to download the app for it. If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I am compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony. A contradiction? In my testimony? You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan." That's right. Do you have a problem with that? Well, it's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on this jar with the victim's blood. Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in his final moments. Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. Dun, dun, dun. What's this? In the kiddie version, you thread ribbons through a bridle by the ears, pull the ribbon out, and that rider is out. The last rider with ribbons wins. The ground-up version involves slipping your opponent's bridle over the ears, effectively removing the bridle from the horse. Oh, this is a horse sports. Okay. I'm having a tea tonight. What are you drinking, chap? In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must not yet have been broken before he died. Ah. He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar. Order! Order! Coffee. Oh, a finished Dr. Pepper. Your Honour, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. We may be missing something critical here. Something critical? Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're as in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we're headed. What? Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth. Very well. The witness may now continue her testimony. Jar and message in blood. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar. I'm making breakfast. I guess a scotch would be a little early. I'll go with coffee. My dude, look, if it helps you, GB, it's 10 to 10 over here, so I think it's time. But it was dark in the room, and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. You mean you were the one who wiped away the message in blood? I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time. She didn't think Dark was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence. Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Cross-examination time. Jar and message in blood. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar. Oh, okay then. So the jar was already broken? It's a miracle that thing hadn't broken earlier. It certainly looks as feeble as the defense's Shut up, Judge! But not as feeble as the judge's argument. You were an ace detective who never missed a detail. Do you really expect us to believe you didn't investigate what was written on the jar pieces? Well, normally I would have. But it was dark in the room, and I didn't have time to check it out. So you didn't know your sister's name was written on the jar? No. If I had known, I would have gathered all the pieces and ground them to dust. Well, that helps my case. Lana, you do that for me? Why are you looking at me? It seems you two might make up yet. Anyway, I just barely had enough time to move the body as it was. If someone happened upon the scene, you'd lose your chance to erase the evidence. You must have been in a hurry. I was. I knew I had to destroy the evidence before anyone came. This is rather shocking. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. I'm afraid this action of yours reveals what really happened. What do you mean? Well, if you really thought Dark killed Prosecutor Marshall, you wouldn't have wiped away the blood. What else could I have done in that situation? Lana, I only had a few moments. There wasn't enough time for me to do anything else but gather up the pieces. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them. Oh, fine, alright, don't interrupt me. But how could you see with the power out? It should have been pitch black in that office. A detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now, I always carry a pocket light and a camera with me. Even I carry a bottle of emergency luminol wherever I go. I never miss anything. I got every last piece. Did you really? All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. So you illegally rearranged the crime scene? Yes. I don't have any excuse for my actions. I'm so sorry, Lana. I didn't know. I've treated you so badly all this time. It's not too late. There's still plenty of time to make up.
after we've gotten to the bottom of this incident. No doubt this day will leave a permanent stain on the history of the prosecutor's office.
More contradictions have surfaced in her testimony.
Your sister's really putting up a fight. She must really care about you. Still, she's not doing this the right way. I think I finally figured out the contradictions in her testimony. There's one final possibility that might turn everything around. Hey, Marina! Right. Let's go with that one. Pretty sure we go back to the jar. Yeah, it's the jar again. No need, Murgoot. We're going in boldly, mate. Miss Skye, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of. What? We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Gant's safe.
In the chief's safe?
But how? I knew it. She really didn't know. Look, there's something even more disturbing about that final piece. There was still blood on it. But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off of all of them. Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene. Chief Gantz got there before you. But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece? I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. That may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my... They were in my mouth all day long. Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken. Oh, that. There's no way a name could have been written on a shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness. I hope you're not implying this person was Chief Gant. At the time, he was looking for Dark downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first, why would he break the jar? The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide the fact for 2 years? Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that? Wait, I'm not the one on trial here. Damon Gant arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar and purposefully hid one of the broken pieces. Question, tell me what you think about me. What is this action called? Fabrication of evidence. But why would Chief Gant do that? In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear? What happened afterwards? Discovering the scene, Lana Skye believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. Lending her his aid, Gant helped her create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma. And therein lies the reason. The reason why Miss Skye became the chief's puppet. Oh, did you see that? Did you see that blood?
No, I did it on my own. Please, sis, stop trying to protect the chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake. No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to protect their clients, or to defend them even. Same difference. Foul lies? Imagine that coming from my own client. It very much is evidence tampering, Mima. I guess you do seem the type who likes to twist the truth. Shut up, Judge! Wait a minute. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap? Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Lana? Lana may be right after all. What do you mean, right? So you do tell foul lies then, Mr. Wright? Miss Skye,
Please testify once more. But if evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accident killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie.
But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall.
Miss Skye, if you will. Chat? Who saw that coming? Who saw that coming? What is it with... Hey, look. Hey, Mima, don't knock baked beans, man. Don't knock baked beans. Beans on toast is absolute god tier. If you haven't tried it, then I can't help you. Go and get some beans, get some toast, slap it on, and enjoy. Make sure you butter the bread, of course, obviously. Let's see, Mr. Gently Benevolence. Theory. Gant. Bad phrenogamy. Killed Dark. He could get the top job and used Emma as a way to get Lana, Woodable, to do what he wanted. So Murgut's been thinking along those lines. Okay. Let's carry on. Let's go. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. Oh, yeah. Beans, sausage, beans, and sausage, beans, and toast. Oh. Yum, yum. Stop it. Getting hungry. Yeah, but for breakfast. You can have it for breakfast. You can have it for tea. Yeah. It's a meal of any time of day. Any time of day. Beans on toast, man, is boss. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will, if you tell the truth. Scrambled egg. I'm a scrambled egg kind of guy. I don't like fried egg or, you know, all the other types. But give me a scrambled egg and I'll eat that all day. Which is weird because it is exactly the same. I'm not adding anything or taking anything away from it. Just mixing it all up. Give me buttermilk, drop biscuits and sausage gravy any day. Ooh, sausage gravy. Yum. Very well. I'll testify about what I really saw. All right. The witness may testify once more for the final time. Actual crime scene. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor's sword. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what had happened, I thought, she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all was really a fabrication, Emma might be innocent. Unbelievable. The body was impaled on the armor sword? Anything is gravy if you own a blender. No, that's very true. It's very true. I love Not Moriarty's sly dig there in it. In America, the gravy is white and lumpy, right? But over here, in good old UK, it's a brown, warm and delicious dip that you put all over your roasts. Cue seductive music. You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof. Actually, I do have proof. I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning. What? To me? It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed. But I don't remember receiving a picture like that. Lana must have known. See, Mr. Wright? She really does have faith in you. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please present this picture. I don't remember receiving any pictures from Lana. Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right? I seem to remember getting something from her then. Let's check that evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere. Hey, there's a picture in here. Dun dun dun! Quick! Oh no, no, YouTube! It's a cartoon. It's not real. It's not real, YouTube. It's not real. Oh my! This is
The actual crime scene? No other detectives saw the crime scene like this. Because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I had rearranged everything. Lana's picture inserted into the court record. Oh, sausage gravy is white and it's lumpy because it has sausage in it. Man, do you know what? I can't wrap my head around like white gravy. I'm sorry. I'm sure it's lovely. I can't wrap my head around it. Mr. Wright, that piece cut out from his vest. Could that be? Could that be? Dun dun dun. The cloth we found inside Chief Gant's safe. What's this? This is a handprint, isn't it? That cloth. It had fingerprints on it. Whosever fingerprints those are must be the real murderer. Don't say that, Emma. What? Those fingerprints? They're yours, Emma. Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright? Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer. Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Just gonna open a window, bear with. Oh. Right, there we go. Right, so actual crime scene. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's... I didn't do that. Come now, RJ. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen. Chief Gant, I didn't even do that. What? Now you want me... What? Now you want to make me out as the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense. I'm afraid it's too late for that. What? You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort. This must be that risk we were talking about earlier. Oh look, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck. YouTube, I'm reading off the script here. I'm reading off of the text. I am not endorsing nor encouraging that statement. Ah, so what? You think I'm worried? My man's Blanca. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't. But someone does. Someone? So, what's your excuse, righto? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt. Is this true, Mr. Wright? If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer. Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now. And if you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries. Oh man, what do I do now? I'd better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. But should I present that piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall? What should we do, chap? Okay.
Cloth and luminol and save. Oh boy, right. Let's go for it. Yes, Your Honour. I do have further evidence. Oh, right! The time's finally come to show it to them. Those prints have got to be the chief's. Now then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall. No. My rubber glove. Could it be? Could it be? Yeah, why don't they? Oh my god, you can't turn it around now. I don't know if I can. The tag says SL911. Oh. Ah. I know. I'm really hesitant. It's gonna have to be in it. It's a piece of leather cloth. Yes, it most likely was cut from the victim's vest near his chest. What's this? There's a big handprint on it. Surely it must have been left on the cloth by whoever shoved the victim into the sword. What? Whose fingerprints are on this? I'm sure Raito has checked. Haven't you? Well, whose are they? They're Miss Sky's. Miss Emma Sky's. What? They're mine? So I really did do it. See? I told you it was conclusive. But this was found in your safe. That means it's possible you forged it. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember any cloth in my safe. Do you really expect me to believe that? But... Give it up, Mr. Wright. It's over. You shouldn't have presented that. By presenting that evidence, you tied Emma Sky to Neil Marshall's death. No. It appears we have our killer. No. No! Everything hinged on that point. In the end, Lana alone was found guilty on all counts. Oh man, come on. Right. We hold back then. We hold back. We have to hold back. Ah, no. I know why we say no. Hey Bilbo, Your Honour. I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. What? You lie! Chief Gant? You opened my safe. I know what was inside. The conclusive evidence! I don't know what you're talking about.
Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together.
Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it.
What are you talking about, Chief Gant?
Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area?
It looks like part of it's been cut out for some reason.
You mean you had this? In your safe?
What? That means you, the Chief of Police, have been concealing evidence. Oh, this is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department.
Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, Righto. Well, I can't just let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened.
What? You mean you admit to it? So by not saying anything, we've managed to convince... we've managed to sort of... He's fallen right into our trap now.
I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana.
So you really were manipulating her?
I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with her sister, that when she saw the scene, she would ask me for my aid.
So you assisted Miss Skye?
I told her to rearrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room.
And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dark convicted.
When I tampered with the crime scene, I had 2 pieces of evidence. This was before Lana arrived at the scene, mind you.
2 pieces of evidence? You mean those items in your safe? But why?
For insurance, of course.
Insurance?
I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed.
You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence?
What do you take me for? A fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. You see this jar fragment? I hid the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect...
Still say that.
I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces.
But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on this jar too?
Oh, some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance.
You mean that piece of cloth?
Come on, Righto. Cough it up already. I know you have it.
What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright?
So you admit to it then, Chief Gant? That you were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe?
Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that, being chief and all. But it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you could present.
Foolish move, Righto. You should have shown it then, before it was too late.
It's been a long battle. But the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine. Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Rule number 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Let's see if we can go. We can't show it. We can't show it. No, it's too late to show the evidence now. Besides, even if I did, it'd just expose that poor girl's fingerprints. Right. Think hard over the circumstances. The circumstances? I'm talking about then and now. There's one major difference between the two. Weren't you waiting for that difference? So,
Edgeworth figured out my plan. Oh, crap. What was the plan? Mr. Wright, this is your only chance.
Your Honour, I do have evidence to present now. Oh, crap. Okay, so... All right, then. Let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall. Oh, bollocks.
I can't show that.
Mr. Edgeworth, your opinion, please? I think Mr. Wright's humour has improved at the expense of his defence. Ah!
Oh, Mr. Wright, you remember that thing with the murderer's handprint on it, don't you?
Oh my god, is it...
Oh, wait. Now can I present it?
Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest?
Oh, yes. At last you finally brought it out into the open.
There's a handprint on this piece of cloth. Your Honour, the prosecution requests that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather, there must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly.
You mean?
It could not have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence.
You're as slow on the uptake as ever, Worthy.
What?
Think about it. Righto had all this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be?
You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that?
Mr. Wright, do you really know?
Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they? Ah. Very well. I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. The person to whom these fingerprints belong to is... Emma Skye?
What? They're mine?
I'm sorry, Emma.
But why? Why didn't you tell me?
Oh! You're really something, Righto. You knew this girl did it all along, and you still tried to pin the murder on me?
So it's true. Tragic, but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death.
How could you? You monster!
Miss Skye.
You knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't.
Miss Skye, it's not over yet.
What?
I said this trial isn't over yet.
Ha! But I'm afraid it is over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career too. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy. What's the matter? Got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer?
Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up.
Oh?
And what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? What? Chief Gant, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? It was Emma Skye, wasn't it? I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about?
I'm talking about a contradiction. One that proves who the real killer is. Like you said, Mogu, it ain't relevant to Goodman's death.
Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth, what could it possibly contradict?
Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. It's got to be this.
Oh, it's fun watching you squirm, Righto.
This piece of evidence does indeed seem to contradict something. Ah, okay. What am I doing? If this cloth was cut from Prosecutor Marshall's vest after he died, then something's definitely not right about it. It's too late to turn back now. We're the only one who can put an end to this, right? Chief Gant, you're... Okay, right. Hold on. Right, let's have a think. 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 Wait a minute. Could it be that? Bollocks. Oh man, right. Oh man, okay. Struggling now. Oh, do. Okay. Oh my god, the photo. What photo? Look at this photograph. What would that? Ah. It's got to be that, ain't it? Because look, there's no blood on it. Yeah, it's got to be. And what exactly is this supposed to be?
This is the
This is the picture Miss Sky took. Take a good look at it. See where the piece of his vest was cut out? Yes. His shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest, though. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. His lungs, no doubt, were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth. Oh, but that piece of cloth... It's interesting. Wait. There's no blood on it. Ah! Since Emma Sky's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. Well done, Mima, well done. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at that time.
No, this is nonsense.
Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out. If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the crime scene before Miss Lana Skye? Picked up the unconscious prosecutor and impaled him on the armor's sword. Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. A jar that they then broke on purpose to leave behind a clue, and make Lana believe her sister did it. Remember what you admitted only moments ago? That you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's vest? Ironic, isn't it? Through the very act of creating insurance, you proved that you were the actual murderer. It's finally all over.
Oh, that was close, Rido. You almost had me. So sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegations.
What do you mean you refute his allegations?
You see that piece of cloth? Is illegal evidence.
Order! Order! What nonsense is this?
Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, Aji? Earlier, old Raito here concealed that piece of cloth. So then, what's your excuse, Raito? You do have some conclusive evidence, don't you?
Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present evidence.
At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence.
But that's not fair.
Did you actually think you could best me in court?
Yeah, it's banging music, this is.
Looks like the last laugh's on you, son.
I'm afraid Mr. Gant's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? True, illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person, assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal. Well, Mr. Wright? It seems at last. The time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived. Mr. Wright, do you admit to it? That you purposefully and illegally concealed this piece of cloth? Nah, we waited for the right time. I admit, I refused to present it at one point.
Aha! So the evidence is illegal.
That's not what I said. No, it isn't, Mr. Gant.
Huh?
It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't. What do you mean you couldn't? There are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence.
No, Aji, don't listen to his lies. He's nothing but a coward. You can't really believe... What?
There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not? Very well. Let us settle this once and for all. Earlier, you refused to present evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, then do so now. Oh, we better. Unregistered. Yeah, it's got to be Rule 2, isn't it? Where did you say? Yeah, Mergit, you said it, didn't you? Ah, here we go. This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law.
What's this?
I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Skye's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more.
What?
You see, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of evidence law. Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. I found this piece of cloth of evidence myself inside your safe. It goes without saying,
I did not have approval from the police department. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And here is the crux of the matter. You see, at the time it was impossible for me to prove that relevance between the cloth and the SL9 incident.
What? What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Just take one look at this picture and...
Sorry, but can you recall when was that picture presented? That was shown only a few moments ago.
No.
He's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless. The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Damon Gant. Ugh. You yourself confessed to a certain truth. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of evidence, piece of the victim's vest?
Oh, yes. No!
It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the Chief of Police, personally approved this cloth. The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer. And there's only one person who that could be. Damon Gant, the killer, was you. Epic. That was epic.
I knew I should have gotten rid of him. That good-for-nothing scum. Although, for 2 years, he's been snooping around the department, trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on hounding me.
Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty.
He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Starr, then convinced Bruce Goodman.
Detective Goodman?
Yeah, that's right.
If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance to find out the truth. Please, you've got to help me.
Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit.
He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence.
Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. Then all of a sudden, he decided to speak out. What are you talking about, Goodman?
Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered.
He opened his evidence locker, and as he was taking the evidence out, he said,
It's not too late. I'm going to hand all this over to Marshall.
Well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he'd bring up SL9. That's when I saw it. That accursed knife. I couldn't just pull it out.
Beg your pardon? Doing so would have only led to more blood, making it near impossible to hide your crime.
Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it up. I was worrying so much about the floor, I didn't realize my fatal mistake.
Monogamy never lies, exactly. The bloody handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker.
It used to be known as the crime computer, but everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it.
Then you put the body in my car.
I'm sorry. I couldn't think of any other way to move the body. I broke your trunk, but what's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever will.
No, sir, not true. That knife would not release blood. Unless it was like a straw. Leaving the prosecution's car aside. How? How could you get Miss Sky involved in all of this?
Well, she had as much to lose as I did if the truth came out.
So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker?
I felt bad for having to do it. I also didn't have the time to pick and choose what to take.
So, you left the jar fragments in the glove?
Yeah. It looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. They all did their best to get in my way. I've got to hand it to them. They do their jobs well, much to my dismay.
Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that.
Tell me, Worthy, why do you stand in court?
Me?
You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down. Once you try to go it alone.
Oh, that sounds like a plug. Definitely sounds like a plug for Miles Edgeworth. Like, ooh, sprinkle a little, do you want this? Do you want this game?
Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Ajay.
What?
Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend.
I'm sorry too, Damon Gant. I knew you as you used to be, long ago. You were once a fine investigator, and an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person.
Those days are long gone now, Ajay. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now you have Raito here, and Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. In fact, I can hear them already. The melodious sounds of a new beginning.
There are two things I want you to understand.
Yes?
First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Damon Gant betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Sky, you no longer have any reason to keep silent.
You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years. From the time I had Gant help me forge evidence, up until today.
So, it seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered. I'm sorry, Miss Sky. I couldn't get you out of all the trouble.
My. What high standards you have for a rookie. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows? A few years from now, you just might make it to the top.
Oh, she's smiling. Way!
I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. Sky? And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you.
It was nothing. Liar.
I was worried about the pressure. I was worried the pressure might break you. And yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth.
Stop it. I only did my job. In light of this case, it seems a good self-examining is in order for all of us. Miss Sky?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are innocent of murder. However, although the Chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice. A trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date.
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
Is there something amusing about all of this? Why are you smiling? Audit them all!
It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt free of these heavy chains.
Well, this trial has gone on far too long already. You're telling me this was supposed to be done Sunday? Regarding the charge of murder, This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, not guilty. Woohoo! That is all. This court is adjourned. February 25, 5:03 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Bang the gavel, chap. Let's get some gavels out. Oh. Let's get some gavels out. Woo! There we go. At long last. It's finally over. Emma? Why the long face? You look like Sarah Jessica Parker. I'm sorry your sister didn't get completely off the hook. But at least she wasn't convicted for a murder she didn't commit. No, that's not it. Just now, after the trial ended, I can see why Mia Fey thought so highly of you. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. You've done well. It's a nice smile, isn't it? It's a nice smile, a very pretty smile. You know, I did my best too, but Lana didn't say a single word to me. I hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Seems to be doing that every session so far. Oh, yes I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe. What is it? You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making a detective run all around while on duty? And to top it off, you call me here? I've seen happier people at funerals. Hey, lighten up, pals. I'm only kidding. Oh? And you were here because of my sister again? Nope, not this time. I came today because of you, pal. Me? That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone. It's Lana! Lana! Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know. Well, I won't tell if you won't. Emma, I owe you an apology. It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it. That day, 2 years ago. Was the first time in my life I ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in all that mess. Sis, I asked Gant to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake. Now I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself. But I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared that you'd look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew. But sis, you were only doing it for me. No. Huh? I turned my back on you that day. In hiding what I believed to be the truth. I was deceiving you. Sis, I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, so sorry. But sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now. You're happy? Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have. Hey! Oh, Emma. Emma! Ah, that's wholesome. No one can change the past. The only thing we can do is strive to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because in so doing, we can find the way back to our rightful path. And it is from there that we can move on toward a brighter future. At least that's what I felt watching the two sisters make up.
Mr. Wright? Mr. Gumshoe?
Me?
Thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right, Edgeworth?
Edgeworth?
Stop hiding and come out here.
Such an introvert, that geezer.
Where was he hiding?
I just came to say congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth.
McCormick. Oh, that was it. Thanks for reminding me. Right, well, I'll be going now.
Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you.
It's too late for me. No matter what anyone may say, I realize today that I can't correct my mistakes.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right.
You despise criminals.
I can feel it. You and me, we're the same.
One day you'll understand.
Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man, and you'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone. I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. It's scary, but I've known that to be true for quite some time now. But Edgeworth? Who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor.
Edgeworth, don't you understand? Damon Gant and your mentor, Manfred von Karma, were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime, but they both made the same mistake. You said, in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. That may be true, but think back to today's trial. You weren't alone.
Yeah, callback.
You were working together with Mr. Wright, and because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright?
Huh? What? Oh, yeah. What is this, a pop quiz?
Come on, Mr. Wright. Show him what Lana's talking about.
Evidence, huh? Something that neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find on our own. This? That might mean something to you, but I don't see how it had anything to do with our partnership. Huh?
Mr. Wright, it seems you still have a lot to learn as well.
I guess that wasn't the right piece of evidence. It's time for me to go. Oh. What was the right evidence then? Hang on, what was the right evidence? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Mr. Edgeworth.
If you'll excuse me, there are still some loose ends that need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor.
Edgeworth, no! Edgeworth, what will you do now?
Well, whatever you do, just remember, you can let what happened kill the prosecutor in you, or you can let it help you grow. In the end, it's up to you. I know. It seems I owe you my thanks too, right? But what I face now is my problem. Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court. Farewell. Ah, mate, this case broke Edgeworth.
I'd better be going too. Okay, but I'll be by to visit soon. It seems we both have a lot to learn and catching up to do. Here, this is a little something for you. Scientific Investigation. It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well. Thanks, sis. I will. She's smiling again.
And so, another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith. Oh, some cud-cuds. Faith that their lives have only just begun. And as for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey of my own. A journey to rediscover myself.
Well, don't go trekking out just yet, pal.
Huh? What is it, Detective?
There's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this.
But I thought you said it was okay.
Yeah, well, it may be okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story.
Huh?
Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either.
Huh? Way to go, Detective. I didn't know you had a wild side.
Yeah, well, you see, Mr. Wright here is the one who'll be footing the bill.
Huh? Huh?
What, you think I could afford it with my salary? You gotta be kidding me, pal.
Huh? What? Huh? What? Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best. Why is it I suddenly feel like I want to scream? Hey, Jesus Christ. No, we're going to be wrapping up very shortly.
Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we all go pay it off together?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys. Let's go. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. I arranged for a friend of mine in Europe to take care of Emma. I hope she'll be pleased to study under a top coroner. As for me, this affair has pretty much ended my days at the prosecutor's office. Still, I'll manage to find my way back to the field somehow. Then, I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Emma. Oh, is the entire game finished? The entire first game is finished. There's still 2 more to play through. Plus all of the other ones that are available. There's about 10, 11 games, I think. If you count, yeah. Don't worry.
Yikes, I thought I was a goner for a moment there. In the end, though, they overlooked my unauthorized investigation of the chief's office. If we penalized you anymore, it'd be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they said. It just goes to show, you can't shake me off that easily.
He's still on the force, guys. He's still on the force. Right, guys, while you are... Yeah, look at all that Coke. A cola. Animation. Right, guys, while we're... Oh, hang on.
My new mission is to guard the main entrance and take care of Billy. Can you believe it? I've been demoted to a security guard. My partner's keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. I'll show them, though. Someday I'm going to make detective. Yes, sir. Then I can be just like that Dick Gumshoe.
I think I made the dogs bark with that high-pitched squeaking. Right, guys, want some burger ratings in the chat? Out of 12, give me some burger ratings. What do you think of this one? Come on, chat. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Do 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 do. No, not Moriarty. It's a rating system out of 12. Out of 12. Oh no! The blue badger broke down. Fumiyaki Sato? 10 with ketchup. Oh, okay. Hitoshi Sakai, Shiro Mikata, Daisuke Kaneko. I got in late. Ah, what is it? Can't you see I'm having me a showdown with a steak lunch partner? Miss Starr managed to sneak this into me. She's seeing one of the guards, it seems. Well, cowboy, looks like you did it. You even gave Bambina back her smile. Can you make sure Billy and the gang get their water? 13 out of 12, Smish and Western Burgers. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. It's a 12 for me, man. I love this game. I love this so much. Looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while.
As a farewell gift, I put a new meal on the menu. The right lunch. The top layer tastes as bitter as defeat, but the bottom layer is as sweet as victory. Kids seem to dig the turnabout theme. It's a hot seller around exam time. Just make sure not to eat it backwards.
12 pineapple rings in a toasted bun. Blimey. Not going to get any meat in there. Phrasing. Localization, Ben Judd. Thank you for the localization work there, Ben Judd. And Brandon Gay. Hang on a minute. Are they saying Biden? No, stop it. I'll never forget what that young defense lawyer said after the trial. Let's see. What was his name again? Mr. Left? Anyway, he said he's been doing something or other for how many years? Well, anyway, I've got another trial to get to, so I'd better be... Huh? Oh no! I forgot my gavel! Sorry, gotta go. Hey, look, there's the judge's chair. Mate, I know what you meant, not Moriarty, but... Mission Western sounds pretty dope. Yeah, I love this game. But yeah, don't worry, guys. The fun is not over in terms of the actual games itself.
Ah, nothing soothes the soul like fresh country air. Still, sometimes I do miss hearing you in your objection. Still, I can't go back until I'm a full-fledged spirit medium. Mystic Maya, afternoon training's about to begin. Coming. Well, see you around, Nick.
Hope we didn't forget about Maya, guys. Special thanks to Kimio, Yamazoe, Ayamoto. Oh, Maya. Kaiji Kubori, Tomohiro Masuda, Sestu. Hideaki Katagiri, Miho Kobayashi. So, chat, of the 5 turnabouts, from what you can remember, what was your favourite one of the 5? Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth? I brought you your tea. What's going on? Oh dear, what is going on? I think Maya has a crush on Riot. Maybe. Bit weird though, she's 17, isn't it? But that's fine. She can have a crush on him, I suppose.
Thanks for coming to see me off. Can't believe I'm going to Europe. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything. I'm a little sad, but I'll be alright. Whenever I want to see Lana, all I have to do is open this book. See, she put a picture in it.
Oh my god, she actually did, didn't she? She actually did. What's this? Hey, she actually did! Aww. I'm glad those two were able to reconcile again. That was so sweet. Capcom. Think. Is that it? Is that it? Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the first Ace Attorney. So the next time we will be back, we'll be moving on to Justice for All. And then when we've done that, we'll be moving on to Trials and Tribulations. This one is my personal favourite of the entire series. So I am especially looking forward to playing this one. When is more gameplay? So, not Moriarty, don't worry, because this is just on the trilogy. This is just the Ace Attorney trilogy. We've still got Miles Edgeworth. We've got Miles Edgeworth 2. We've got Apollo Justice. We've got Ace Attorney Dual Destinies. And we've got Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice. Plus, we also have the Great Ace Attorney and the Great Ace Attorney 2. So there is plenty more stories out there for you to enjoy. Okay? Plenty more. And then what I might do is when they bring out the Apollo Justice trilogy, which I think will be about early next year, I think they're saying. So I'm imagining it's going to be about April time, I imagine. I'll probably go back and replay those with the high def remastered graphics, all that jazz. So Wolf Among Us, not heard much about Wolf Among Us 2 yet. I think they're still penning it for next year as well. So that is going to be a definite play as well. So you can absolutely bet your bottom dollar that I'm going to be playing that 100%. Do not worry. But yeah, guys, this is it for now. So we've concluded Ace Attorney. The next one will be Justice for All. Now, full disclosure, probably, because I see Mima's already asked when there's going to be more gameplay. There probably won't be any more this week because I really do need to start getting on with this Leopold and Loeb case. And I've also got the Horrorshow stream on Thursday as well. And I think we're catching up as well to chat about Rope, which will be released around about the same time as the Leopold and Loeb case, which we're looking to get out for early July. So yeah, do need to sort of hunker away and crack on with that. So we will probably be back next week. I will confirm dates through the community tab and through my secret communications. But yeah, guys, really do hope you've enjoyed this particular gameplay. I am loving the fact that we're back on it. I will say, Justice of All is one that I don't really remember a lot about, so we're going to be sort of playing it. Do you know what, Mima? I don't actually know what the Horror Homework is. I forgot. I'll need to ask Horrorshow. But I'm sure she'll broadcast it on her YouTube community tab, so keep an eye out on that. But yeah, so yeah, when we get to playing Justice for All, I'm not going to remember much of it. I do vaguely remember the first case, but again, like with the previous one, it's very much a tutorial turnabout. So that will probably get done quite quickly. But yeah, guys, so I'm going to wrap it up now. I've just realised it's 10 past 11 here. It's a bit late to actually just start Justice for All now. I know I said at the beginning we might, but yeah, it's a bit late now. So yeah, that is it. That is all. Ace Attorney, 1 down, 2 more to go for the trilogy. Chat, thank you ever so much for being here this evening. Really do appreciate it. Make sure, if you haven't already, that you smash that like button on the way out. And tell your friends about me. Okay? We recently passed 9,000 over on the main channel. And we're on our way to 10,000. I have an announcement when we get there. But I will let the channel members and Patreon followers know a little bit earlier. But yes, guys, I'm blabbering now. Thank you ever so much for stopping by. And until next time, take care. And goodbye. For over 9,000 now. For now.